sugar.
Can't get next to you, baby.
Today we're diving into 20 hit songs from 1969 that dominated the airwaves but rarely get played anymore. Let's see how many you actually remember. 1969 wasn't just a year. It was a musical revolution. While everyone remembers a handful of classic tracks, there were dozens of chart toppers that have faded from our collective memory. These weren't B-sides or album filler. These were legitimate hits that people bought by the millions. They packed dance floors. They played on every radio station. And then, they just disappeared. Until now.
The summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me.
Let's kick things off with the biggest song of the entire year. Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Yes, you heard that right. A cartoon band had the #1 song of 1969. The Archies weren't a real group. They were animated characters from a Saturday morning TV show. But session musicians, led by producer Don Kirshner, created this bubblegum pop masterpiece that sold over 6 million copies. The lead vocals came from Ron Dante, who remained uncredited for years because the illusion had to be maintained.
I just can't believe the love.
Think about that. In the same year that gave us groundbreaking rock and soul, a fictional band outsold everyone. Sugar Sugar spent 4 weeks at #1 and became a cultural phenomenon. Kids loved it, adults secretly loved it, and radio stations played it constantly. Yet today it's mostly remembered as a novelty, a sweet little relic from a simpler time.
Sugar. Oh, honey, honey.
Next up is Aquarius / Let the Sunshine In by the Fifth Dimension. This medley came from the musical Hair and captured the optimistic spirit of the counterculture movement. The Fifth Dimension took 2 songs from the controversial Broadway show and blended them into something magical. The arrangement was bold. It started with the dreamy, mystical Aquarius, before exploding into the joyful gospel-tinged, Let the Sunshine In. This wasn't background music. It was a statement. The song hit #1 and won a Grammy. It became an anthem for peace, love, and the dawning of a new age. The production was sophisticated, with layered harmonies that showcased the group's incredible vocal talent. Today you might recognize it from movies or commercials, but few people remember just how massive this song was in 1969. The Temptations brought us I Can't Get Next to You, and it's criminal how overlooked this track has become. This was the Temptations at their absolute peak. The song featured all 5 members taking lead vocals at different points. A bold creative choice that paid off brilliantly. The lyrics were clever, with each verse listing supernatural powers before admitting that none of them could help win over the object of their affection. Producer Norman Whitfield crafted a production that was funky, psychedelic, and undeniably Motown. The song topped both the pop and R&B charts. It sold over 1 million copies. The Temptations performed it on every major TV show. And yet, when people think of the Temptations today, they usually jump to My Girl or Ain't Too Proud to Beg. I Can't Get Next to You deserves way more recognition than it gets. The Rolling Stones dropped Honky Tonk Women, and it became one of their signature songs. Though even this one doesn't get the love it deserves anymore. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote this rocker after a trip to Brazil. The iconic opening cowbell, played by producer Jimmy Miller, instantly grabbed your attention. Charlie Watts' drumming was loose and swinging. The whole vibe was dirty, bluesy, and unmistakably Stones. The song went to #1 in multiple countries and showcased the band's ability to blend country, blues, and rock into something completely their own. There's a loose, almost drunken quality to the recording that makes it feel alive and dangerous. While diehard Stones fans still celebrate it, casual listeners today might not even recognize the title. Sly and the Family Stone gave us Everyday People, and it was revolutionary in more ways than one. This wasn't just a catchy song. It was a message of unity and acceptance during one of the most divided times in American history. The band itself was revolutionary, racially integrated with both male and female members, at a time when that was incredibly rare. The bass line was funky and infectious. The lyrics were simple but powerful, preaching tolerance and understanding. I am everyday people, Sly Stone sang, and millions of people from all backgrounds felt seen. The song hit #1 and became an anthem for equality. It influenced funk, soul, and rock for decades to come. Yet somehow, outside of music history classes, it rarely gets mentioned today. Tommy Roe's Dizzy is pure pop perfection that's been almost completely forgotten. This bubblegum pop song was impossibly catchy. The production was bright and bouncy, with hand claps and a melody that burrowed into your brain and refused to leave. Tommy Roe had written and recorded the song years earlier, but this updated version became his biggest hit. Dizzy topped the charts in the US and UK. It sold millions. Radio stations played it constantly. But in the decades since, it's become a footnote, a trivia answer for music nerds. Most people under 60 wouldn't recognize it if you played it for them. Sly and the Family Stone strike again with Hot Fun in the Summertime, a song that perfectly captured the carefree spirit of summer. Released in the summer of 1969, right after Woodstock, this track had a laid-back groove that felt like sunshine in audio form. The horns were bright. The rhythm was relaxed. Sly's vocals were effortless and cool. The song celebrated county fairs, outdoor parties, and the simple joys of warm weather. It wasn't trying to change the world like some of their other tracks. It was just pure enjoyment. The song became a top 10 hit and remains one of their most accessible tracks. Still, when people remember the summer of '69, they're more likely to think of Woodstock than this incredible song.
I'm never gonna fall in love.
Tom Jones took I'll Never Fall in Love Again and made it his own, showcasing a different side of his talent. Written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David for the musical Promises, this ballad was sophisticated and tender, a far cry from Tom Jones' usual bombastic performances.
I thought they were only lies.
His rich baritone voice delivered the bittersweet lyrics with genuine emotion. The arrangement was lush, with strings and subtle orchestration that let Jones' voice take center stage. The song became a major hit on both sides of the Atlantic. It showed that Tom Jones wasn't just about power and showmanship. He could deliver a delicate, heartfelt performance too. Today, most people only remember him for It's Not Unusual or What's New Pussycat.
So many times thought I knew.
The Foundations brought us Build Me Up Buttercup, and it's one of the most purely joyful songs of the era. This British group created an irresistibly upbeat track about romantic frustration. The contradiction was brilliant. The lyrics described being let down repeatedly, but the music was so bouncy and cheerful you couldn't help but smile. The horns were punchy. The piano was bright and playful.
You
Lead singer Clem Curtis delivered the vocals with infectious enthusiasm. The song became a huge hit and has enjoyed a second life in movies and commercials. But ask someone to name a song by the Foundations and you'll probably get blank stares. Tommy James and the Shondells gave us Crimson and Clover, a psychedelic masterpiece that pushed boundaries. Tommy James recorded this in his home studio in just 5 hours, experimenting with sounds and effects. The tremolo effect on the vocals was revolutionary for a pop song. The guitar work was hypnotic. The whole track had a dreamy, otherworldly quality. The song didn't follow traditional pop structures. It built slowly, creating an atmosphere before exploding in the final section. That innovative approach paid off. Crimson and Clover hit #1 and became one of the defining songs of the psychedelic era. Three Dog Night scored with One, a haunting ballad about loneliness that became their first top 10 hit. Written by Harry Nilsson, the song was deceptively simple. The arrangement was sparse, letting the emotional weight of the lyrics shine through. The chorus, with its plaintive "One is the loneliest number," became instantly iconic. Three Dog Night's version featured lead vocals from Danny Hutton, whose delivery was vulnerable and affecting. The song resonated with millions who had experienced isolation and heartbreak. It launched the band into superstardom and sold over 1 million copies. Yet today, Three Dog Night is often overlooked when discussing the great bands of the era. Tommy James and the Shondells appear again with Crystal Blue Persuasion, another psychedelic gem with a message of hope. The song had a lighter, more optimistic feel than Crimson and Clover. The bass line was funky and prominent. The horns added brightness, and those backing vocals created a sense of spiritual uplift. Tommy James has said the song was inspired by his religious beliefs and the hope for peace. The Crystal Blue Persuasion represented truth and clarity. The song became a top 10 hit and captured the idealistic spirit of the late 60s. Like many songs from this era, it's been largely forgotten except by devoted fans of the period. The Cowsills recorded Hair, the title song from the groundbreaking musical, and made it their biggest hit. The Cowsills were a real family band that inspired the Partridge Family TV show. Their version of Hair was exuberant and youthful, celebrating long hair as a symbol of rebellion and freedom. The production was elaborate, with layers of vocals and a driving rock arrangement. The song celebrated the counterculture while remaining accessible enough for mainstream radio. It became a #2 hit and perfectly captured the generation gap of the era. Today, most people don't even know the Cowsills existed, let alone that they had multiple hit songs. Marvin Gaye delivered Too Busy Thinking About My Baby, a Motown classic that showcased his incredible vocal talent. This was Marvin Gaye before his socially conscious period, when he was still primarily a romantic crooner. The song was sophisticated and smooth, with a production that perfectly complemented his silky vocals. The arrangement featured strings, horns, and that unmistakable Motown rhythm section. Marvin's delivery was both tender and powerful, showing off his range and emotional depth. The song became a top 10 hit and remains a favorite among Motown collectors. But in the broader cultural consciousness, It's been overshadowed by his later, more famous work. Henry Mancini's love theme from Romeo and Juliet proved that instrumental music could still dominate the charts. Mancini composed this beautiful, sweeping theme for Franco Zeffirelli's 1968 film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. The melody was instantly memorable, romantic, tragic, and timeless. The orchestration was lush and cinematic, with strings carrying the main theme. The song became a massive hit, reaching #1 and winning a Grammy. It was played at weddings and proms. It became shorthand for romantic love. Yet today, most people wouldn't recognize it unless they've seen the film. The Youngbloods gave us Get Together, a peace anthem that perfectly captured the idealism of the era. Originally released in 1967, the song didn't become a hit until 1969 when it was used in a public service announcement. The message was simple but powerful. Come together, smile on your brother, try to love one another. The arrangement was folk rock with gentle acoustic guitars and harmonies. Jesse Colin Young's vocals were warm and inviting. The song became an anthem for the counterculture movement and the anti-war protests. It represented everything the hippie generation hoped to achieve. Today it's remembered mostly as a period piece rather than the cultural touchstone it once was.
Some may come as never grazing in the grass. Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby.
The Friends of Distinction brought sophisticated soul with Grazing in the Grass, a smooth, jazzy instrumental cover that became a vocal hit. Hugh Masekela had an instrumental hit with this song in 1968. The Friends of Distinction added lyrics and took it in a more soulful direction. The result was a laid-back, summery groove that climbed to #3 on the charts. The vocals were smooth and conversational. The arrangement was jazzy and sophisticated, with a relaxed feel that made it perfect for easy listening radio. The song sold over 1 million copies and launched the group's career. But like so many acts from this era, they've faded from public memory.
Yes, baby, can you dig it? Everything here is so clear.
With suspicious minds.
Elvis Presley roared back with Suspicious Minds, proving he was still the king. After years of mediocre movies and forgettable soundtrack songs, Elvis recorded this at American Sound Studio in Memphis. The song was a return to form, raw, emotional, and powerful.
What you doing to me?
The production was modern with contemporary soul and rock influences. Elvis's vocal performance was passionate and vulnerable. The dramatic build-up and false ending showed that he was willing to take risks again.
Honey, you know I have never lied to you.
Suspicious Minds became his last #1 hit during his lifetime and remains one of his most beloved songs. Yet even this classic gets overshadowed by his earlier work in most retrospectives. Creedence Clearwater Revival delivered Proud Mary, one of the most enduring rock songs of all time. John Fogerty wrote this swamp rock masterpiece about a riverboat on the Mississippi. The guitar riff was instantly recognizable. The groove was unstoppable. And that imagery of rolling down the river became permanently embedded in American culture. CCR was on fire in 1969, releasing hit after hit. Proud Mary became one of their signature songs, reaching #2 on the charts. The song has been covered countless times. But the original version has a raw energy that can't be matched. Still, younger generations might only know the cover versions. We're closing with Junior Walker and the All-Stars and What Does It Take to Win Your Love? A soul masterpiece that combined heartache with an irresistible groove. Junior Walker's gravelly voice and wailing saxophone created a unique sound that stood out even in Motown's incredible roster. This song was a plea for love, delivered with raw emotion over a funky, driving beat. The production was tight and professional, but Junior Walker's personality shone through every note. The saxophone solo was passionate and desperate. The rhythm section was locked in. The song became a top 5 hit and remains a favorite on classic soul radio. But like so many great songs from this era, it's known more by music aficionados than by the general public. There you have it. 20 massive hits from 1969 that somehow slipped through the cracks of time. These weren't obscure album tracks or regional favorites. These were chart-topping, million-selling songs that dominated the airwaves. So how many did you actually remember? Did any of these trigger forgotten memories of car rides or school dances? Or were most of them completely new to you? 1969 was an incredible year for music. While we tend to focus on a handful of legendary albums and iconic moments, the charts were packed with incredible songs that deserve to be remembered and celebrated. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit that like button and subscribe for more forgotten music history. Drop a comment telling us which song surprised you the most or which one you're going to listen to after watching this video. And here's your homework: pick 3 songs from this list and actually listen to them. Don't just add them to a playlist you'll never play. Really listen. You might discover your new favorite old song. Thanks for watching and keep digging into the past. There's incredible music hiding there just waiting to be rediscovered.